Good morning, all. Welcome to GSS 101, Use of English. Today we'll be focusing on improving reading skills. First, we take the definition of reading. What is reading? Reading is defined as the process of acquisition of ideas, concepts, facts, and the ability to analyze, compare, and contrast, evaluate existing knowledge. Reading is a valid process of learning, unlearning, and relearning about a body of existing knowledge. What this simply means is that reading avails the student an opportunity to a wide body of knowledge. Reading is necessary in academic activity in the sense that the acquisition of knowledge is premised on your ability to interpret information and to assimilate such information for personal use. Basic fundamentals to reading: the local and the global. For you to be an effective reader, you must understand the local, which has to do with the primary environment of the text and the relationship of that text to other texts within your field of study. What this means is that, for instance, if you're reading about the pandemic within your local community in terms of how to control it within your immediate environment, the texts which provide a local environment of interaction, your ability to understand how this thing applies to your local environment within the text would enhance your reading, and how it applies to global practice in terms of reading text and other available materials online would enhance your reading skills. Basic aims of reading. We read to improve understanding. We read to connect ideas on page to what we already know. Reading enables us to understand the message of the writer, including the purpose and the objective. Reading helps the student to be acquainted with new knowledge. It is a fact that without reading, most students would not be able to acquaint themselves of a certain body of knowledge within their own field of specialization. And that is why reading is very important in your academic study. 75% of the reading activity is done by the student. This is so in the sense that it allows the student to have a personal interaction with the body of knowledge that is presented to the student within his or her own field of specialty. Reading also enhances the confidence of a student in the sense that it gives the student a valid basis to hold on to certain belief, facts, or concepts, and to personalize such concepts and facts, and to also propagate such concepts and facts on the long run. Reading expands the scope of the student and later on enables the student to also share such information because he or she is speaking from a sound background of information acquired through reading. Types of reading. We have intensive reading. Now, intensive reading enables the student to read gradually and assimilate the information that has been presented. The student takes stage by stage in-depth understanding of what the writer intends to pass, or what a critical material or a field of study intends to pass on to the student. So the student pay attention to each fact that has been presented, and the student look at the main facts, the supporting facts, and digression within the body of knowledge. Extensive reading. Most times, this form of reading is used by those in the field of art in terms of reading the novel, which the student has to read all from the beginning of the page to the end to familiarize his or herself with the storyline, the plot structure, etc. Critical reading. Critical reading empowers the student in the sense that it allows the students to disagree and to agree based on what the writer has presented and matching what the writer has presented with his own existing information. Critical reading allows the students to compare and contrast in terms of comparing what the writer has presented with his own personal knowledge or citing the writer in relation to other writers in terms of what the writer has presented and what other writers have also presented in terms of their disagreement and their agreement. Critical reading allows the students to present facts and also to look at where the writer has failed to buttress his or her point, or where the writer has failed to critically engage the topic under discuss. Factors that enhances effective reading. Large stock of vocabulary. A student who is exposed to registers that is related to his or her field would be able to read without impediment, because certain words used in the context of expression or within the sentence structure sometimes affect the comprehension, the reading speed, and the comprehension of such passage or such idea which the writer intends to pass on to the student. Identifying the purpose. It is expected that before a student engage in reading activity, he or she must identify the purpose of the reading. Are you reading to locate a particular place? Are you reading to be able to replicate the information? Are you reading in terms of entertaining yourself? Identifying the purpose will determine your reading speed. It will also determine your focus. Making pattern summaries. Pattern summaries would enable you to be able to replicate what the writer has presented within the comprehension passage. It will also enable you to expound the information that has been given to you. Pattern summary aids students to recall what has been presented either in class or within the comprehension passage. Pattern summary enables the students to break a large body of idea into minute forms that he or she may be able to recall, he or she may be able to expound in his or her own word. So pattern summary is very necessary in your academic study, because some study materials are 500 pages, some are 300 pages. So you need to break such large body of information into pattern summary in such a way that you would be able to recall and effectively engage the idea personally from your own point of view